As a parent, you are worried, but then you should also understand that your child is stepping into a university life and he or she has to be independent. Okay, and the earlier you make them independent, the sooner they'll settle down.
An expat will take time to belong to the campus.
Yes, settling down in UAE is very, very easy, I feel. And parents, they should give one advice that I always give parents is give students at least 2 weeks time for them to settle down.
How is it in the universities here in UAE in terms of festivities, in terms of activities? I know the orientation days used to be for one day. Now most of the universities have spread it
5 day week.
yeah, week long. Hello viewers, welcome to Mentify. My name is Ankita Puri and I am the founder of Generation Alpha Education Services. Our today's episode is actually going to talk a lot about a very important element, the emotional quotient. If you are a parent and if you are sending your child to study to a different city, a different state, or even to a different country, you feel anxious. You feel knot in your stomach and hundreds and thousands of thoughts running through your mind. Is it normal? Will the university be the second home for your child ever? And many such questions. Today's episode will actually be speaking about the unspoken weight all the parents carry when they send their children to a different place for higher education. With me today is Ms. Shriba Pillai. She is the admissions head at Symbiosis International University, Dubai. Welcome, Shriba, to this episode of Mentify.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Thank you for inviting me to the show. And I'm so glad to be here and to, I think, help so many students, parents, anxious parents, I would say.
You have been well known, Shriba, in this industry as a very strong leader and very compassionate leader, I must say. And I have had personal conversation with you at many occasions, and I have observed the way you deal with parents especially is very commendable. Okay, and that's the reason who else can talk about this very important topic of emotional quotient today but you. Yeah, let's talk about it. I want to hear from you as an expert, as an advisor. Is it normal to feel overwhelmed? I'll not say the word scared, but yes, there is a feeling of anxiety or being overwhelmed when you send your children to a different location for studies. What do you think? What's your input or take on it?
What a apt question, at the right time, because we just have our enrollments going on. We just started with our classes last week at Symbiosis International University, Dubai. Our September 2025 batch has already started.
Wonderful.
So, the thing that, or a week long of, anxiety dealings that I have been going through, that, parents coming up with so many questions. Oh, first day of my child's class, how will it be? Where is my child? Why is my child so late? Or the bus is late? There's so many questions. And, especially when you talk about, as you said rightly, settling down from a high school, for some of them, settling down from high school to a university is something new. Even parents are anxious. So, will my child be comfortable? Because school is a very safe place where, they have everyone to deal with. But here they are, your child is an individual or independent person who is going to a place. And wherein, everything is new, everything is different for the student. So when a student comes in, I understand as a parent, I'm also a parent, so I really understand what emotions the parent is going through. So funny questions, sometimes we do laugh, but sometimes I understand that, yes, the parent is asking from, some students who have come from, from India or from any other place, for them, the first question is, what about the hostel? How will it be a sharing? Will it be a single room? Will it be a suite room? Will there be kitchen? And we feel that everything is there. And UAE is such a diverse place. It's like a home away from so many people. There are millions of expats. They are staying here for so many years. So, settling down in UAE is very, very easy, I feel. And, parents, they should give one advice that I always give parents is give students at least 2 weeks time to for them to settle down. We understand that they are individuals who are coming from different backgrounds, different, someone who's a single child, and they are sending them out for the first time.
Absolutely.
But we understand anxiety and we deal it that way. We at a university, we deal it with very.
So do you often get bothered by the parents? So classes have started, children have forgotten about the anxiety hats, but parents sitting in different country, for instance, do they often bother through emails or through some modes of conversation just to check upon how is it happening?
Yeah, definitely. So many calls, so many emails. We find it funny when the child is settled in. He or she is fine with the hostel. He or she is fine with the accommodation. Everything is fine. The parent are calling and asking us, "Oh, I think the bus is an hour late," and we are like, "It's okay. The child is fine. He or she is ready to wait, or she is enjoying the company of his friends or her friends." So but we understand that is a kind of follow up or anxiety the parent is going through, because obviously, as I said, different reasons. Someone who's coming from high school, someone who's just started university. So for all of that, yes, we deal it that way.
Lovely.
We have a good team of people who.
I was actually about to ask, because when you get a call or when you get inquired from a parent who is in UAE, then it's an immediate conversation and it is sorted. But imagine a parent sitting outside UAE and is expecting an email reply. And I know for a fact that you're very apt in responding. How do you reassure that these students who are newcomers, the freshmen, have started settling down? How does the university assures, in general, in UAE, probably you can talk about based on your own experience, which helps these parents to settle down as well on their anxiety level?
Yeah. Because, here there are a lot of international universities who have very good, student counselors or student service centers, who specially deal with, and they are professional psychologists, or, they can understand students. So, we have a student service center, head, she deals with all the student queries. So, whenever we get such anxious parents who are calling even at 11:30 in the night that, "Tomorrow, what time is the class for my child?" And we're like, we have set the timetable to this level. But then, we understand when they're sitting at that part of the world, they find it, okay, my child has not told me whether tomorrow there is class or not. So how do I know? So we tell them, don't worry, we are there to help you. Or, there are some students who come down the first week and they find it, oh, I want to go back. I really find so homesick. I don't want to stay here. And there are different reasons. Sometimes food is a reason. Sometimes, mama's baby, that cooking is a problem. So, so we tell, please give them time. We are there to support them. We tell them, you don't need to cook. There's a mess facility available. There's a restaurant available near your accommodation, or every accommodation here, takes them to malls and all these places. Go to a mall, go to a nearby. So, we help them and make them settle in as much as way we can. And, teachers are there to support them. And, we have our executive director, Dr. Anita Patankar, who's always have an open door policy for our students. So students can just come in and ask, funniest questions like, we are late today. So, 5 minutes late, our faculty, where is the faculty? If they are late, what about those? So such funny conversations that they have.
Okay.
So it's good, and we feel that parents should give the students 2 weeks of time minimum to settle down in a new country. Or even if you're here, you should give them. There are sometimes bus that reaches the home 5 minutes late. The parents say, where is my bus? Where is my bus? So we tell.
You mentioned a very important point here, Shriba. You mentioned there is something called student support service, and I'm sure my audience wants to know a bit more about it. So, who all are the members of this student support service? Is it just the staff or even the seniors? How does it work?
So it's a very mix and match that we have. In fact, all the universities mostly, and this is also led by some of the students also, So we keep students. Why? Because our senior students, we train them like a buddy, So every new student who comes in, they have a buddy to talk in, because sometimes they're not comfortable or they're not very this open up to talk to us, or they feel, oh, if I talk to her tomorrow, what will she judge? But they're very comfortable in talking to students of their age. So we make them talk to students of their age. So we call them buddies, So they make them comfortable. Okay, how do you find it? I mean, they take them around, they show them around. So our seniors do that job, So it's a mix of students, it's a mix of senior faculty members, and a mix of, as I told you, even our director is equally involved. So, any breakdown, students come and cry in front of her also.
Okay.
So, any breakdown, so we make them settle down in that way.
Okay. Oh, that's a beautiful setup. And you said that such a service system is available in many universities.
Yes.
And it's a part of the ecosystem of the education industry.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's quite a relief to know at the very initial level of our conversation. Because we understand as parents, if I can echo the voice of sentiments of parents, we understand that faculties have a due diligence to be served. They have to make sure the children are learning, attending the sessions, and the purpose is solved. But has to be somebody who is shadowing the faculty in the well-being of these students, because any new child, and especially an expat, Shriba, I want to highlight here, an expat will take time to belong to the campus.
Yes.
Right? It's like a complete new setup. The child was totally into the comfort zone of its family back in its country, must have been the king of his or his or her spot. But now the child is one of the others.
Yes.
And they want to have that sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Is that the sentiment the universities also understand and they look up to it?
Yes, universities do help or understand to, here, I have been here since so many years, and I've been working in this education industry past 16, 17 years. So, different universities have different kind of setup, but I think more or less all universities understand this and they try to accommodate the students in that way, For example, there are students coming from different countries, right? So as I told you, the buddy system is the best that helps us, to actually country-wise, we can ask students to, So settling down the child is very easy. But what I tell parents or students is, you should do a thorough homework before you send your child, Like you should not get panic. You should know that where are you sending, and especially UAE is the safest place. We, even at night, if you ask me, my small children can go down and buy. Whereas in other countries we have that fear. Oh, how can I send my child in the night?
Yeah.
So we tell always parents that even if you're a girl child, don't need to worry. It's settling down in UAE is the best part. You feel like it's home. And a support system from the government is the best, visas or anything you talk about, it's quite easy. You're never stuck somewhere, as a student. And government is also, laws are very strict. So, that ways, if parents don't need to panic that, okay, what will happen? No, laws are very strict here. And, I think universities also abide or follow that rules and regulations, from visas to, everything is taken care.
Yeah. I'll tell you a classic example. Very recently, I had encountered two such cases, two different kinds of parents. One, a very, very, very caring, and that cocoon parents, we call it.
Yeah.
They don't want the child to be in the sunshine for any harsh sunshine, we call it. Just use as much as needed, right?
Yeah.
And this parent came from India, and the child couldn't resist the chillers.
Yes.
Right? And the child falls sick. Okay. The parent stayed till the orientation week was over, and they were pumping in the confidence amongst each other as a family. But internally, the foundation was very weak. Because the moment the child caught the cold and the cough and the sneeze, the parent took a decision, no, we can't leave our child here. We have to take the child back. Isn't it an anxiety or overprotectiveness which a parent should, refrain from? Or have you also encountered such parents? And would you like to give an advice for futuristic aspiring students?
Yeah, that's
parents?
why I told you. Yes, Ankita. In fact, within this few days, a lot of, examples I can share of, wherein, a student came in, everything was done. He arrived early, he was settled, and, suddenly decided that I want to go back. And what was the reason? That, I'm missing my home food. But there are so many ways, and that's why we tell students that if you're feeling anxious, come and talk to us. We are here to help you and support you at the university. But someone who doesn't, or someone, some student or some child who's not ready to talk to us, we cannot help him or her. So you as a parent should be advising the child. There are people there. Go and talk to them. There are people to help you out. But this child, we were actually very sad about the fact that he didn't talk to us and just randomly decided. The parent was like, no, my child is not able to settle, and we didn't get even time to make them understand that let the child. No, I don't want my child to suffer. So these are few examples that you should. That's why I told that doing before sending your child or before deciding to send your children outside the country, you should do a thorough homework. And you as a parent or children, you as a parent should give that kind of understanding to your child, and you should be also mentally prepared that yes, I am sending my child, I know these are the things that my child has to go through, and you should also advise the children that you have to go by that. So for example, I have never done cooking. Little bit of cooking is required.
Brilliant,
right?
Brilliant.
Yes.
I think it's not about being a safety net all the time.
Yes.
You have to prepare
Yeah.
the child much before.
Yes.
And as early as you prepare,
Yes.
settling their minds,
Yes.
the acceptance from children's perspective will be earlier,
Early, yes.
the moment they enter the university.
Right.
Okay, so I'm sure these examples, like how you just mentioned to me, it's quite upsetting because it's not just a child leaving out a very brilliant choice. It's about a career which could have been far more
Yes.
promising.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That
and
moves
we,
in.
we were actually quite this that, you are actually in a university. You next step is to, to get into a job and all those things. So, you have to be prepared that way. You cannot be pampered. And we tried explain, but because the parent on the other side was very this, no, my child is coming back. So, the child here also made that decision, no, I'm going back. So, parents have to understand or parents have to be strong before sending out their children.
Brilliant. So I think the counseling starts from parent to the student, because children do make choices, right? It takes couple of minutes of conversation with your parents, especially today's world, where we all are, searching, researching, and the knowledge availability is so much that taking decision becomes far more easier.
Yes.
But accepting that decision needs a lot of counseling and conversation.
Right.
So how does it go with you as an individual? I know with close to 2 decades now, you have been into this education industry. Do you pick up calls much before the admission process and talk to parents and make them understand how this entire journey is going to be? And how is your conversation taken by these parents?
I think, yes, dedicated, we have dedicated team of people who do that, who make, to this level that, sir, don't worry. I will make sure that your child gets this kind of accommodation or this kind of food or this kind of, so, this, and I sometimes ask my counselors or my admissions team that, do we really need to be so, giving so much of, expectation to parents and telling them this is it. And, but I feel that really gives the confidence, and we really make sure that we try to settle down the children or the parents even before so, including, sir, this restaurant is below your child's accommodation, or this food is available here. This is the kind of room that you're staying, and this is the student that your child will be staying with. Exchanging numbers of the students so that they settle down easily. So this we actually support the students' journey from start to the end. And I personally feel that it's not just after the admissions is done, it's not my job, it's not like that. Till the student settles down, it's our responsibility to make sure as a university that yes, each and every child is taken care in every way.
I'm sure, because you guys are the first phase.
Yes.
The first phase of the university.
Yes.
And the parents started building up that conversation
Yes.
and confidence, of course, with you. But I'm still wondering on certain category of one category of parents, and I'm sure you will attest to that. They are too much into the word adjustment.
Yeah.
Right? As you rightly said, food.
Yeah.
Accommodation, laundry, who will wake up my child in the morning, all these small little things. And my son or my daughter wants this kind of food. I understand when it comes to allergies or some religion follow-ups, but in general the word adjustment becomes a hoopla.
Yeah.
Especially with parents, and sometimes they become a bit aggressive also.
Yes.
Any inputs or any story from your side?
That's what a smaller story was like, a funnier story was the bus, the bus didn't come on time, or the bus should pick up my child from the doorsteps. So we were like, sir, it's just 1 minute away from your house. You can just come out. That would be, no, my child. So, we feel, understand, as a parent, you are worried, but then, you should also understand that your child is stepping into a university life, and he or she has to be independent. Okay, and the earlier you make them independent, the sooner they'll settle down. Okay, and we are talking about, the funniest I feel is they ask about jobs. Which job, which brand will my child, or what companies are you bringing? But then you are not allowing your children to actually, to cope up with that pressure. You have to give them pressure. They have to go through this, and they have to understand or handle situations this way. Nowadays children are very naive. They break down very easily, because I think they're very pampered, as you rightly said. They're very pampered. And and probably we as parents also, no, I don't want my child to go through all this struggle. But frankly speaking, I feel when they go through the struggle, that's how easy it will be for them. That's how easily they can take up the corporate pressure. We want them to be placed in big names and big companies. But then if they can't handle the pressure, smallest pressure, how are they going to cope up with the pressure of corporate life?
I think resilience comes into picture.
Yes.
Somewhere, some parents are not letting their children to be resilient, right?
Yes.
But I do have the other side of the story. I mean, we do understand the confidence of quoting such examples from parental point of views, because we have dealt with these parents.
Right.
But I'm sure there exist students, who are just not willing to come out of the comfort their parents have given, despite of them pushing them hard. Right? I know, for example, Shriba, there was one parent. They came along with their child, and they call it settling time till the orientation week is done. They've taken up a hotel. They're staying in a hotel, just keeping a binocular view. What's happening with my child? Is he okay? And all that. And the child knows for a fact that I am under watch, and he's throwing all kinds of tantrums, to get that pampering done till the last minute. Somewhere I feel that this is way too much to support, or to ask for a support from your parents, when you have already taken up a decision that you are now going to join a crowd. And this crowd can be students from any and other different parts of the world, from different ethnicity. You should now be ready to walk alone and make your own stories. Do you agree? Do you have any opinion on it?
Yes, definitely, Ankita. In fact, we have had students, story. I have one a very memorable story, or in fact, I feel very proud whenever I see that child. So we had last batch a student, an MBA student, who was very, very, even MBA students, we are shocked, when they come up, as I told you, jobs, placements, everything, they want jobs at the airports. We say in a funny way, you come down, settle here, then, expect yourself, you get accustomed to the culture, everything, and then start looking for a job. That's how you should be preparing yourself. But then there are some students who feel, I want job from there. The day I enter in, I need a job, So there was a funny student who came in with the same thing, that, where's my placement? Where's my internship? And, we were like, settle down. You just come in, you just give yourself time. And the thing is, the parents were also pushing from that. But, we told the student that, you start with your internship. So what we did is we put him into internship, internship in the university itself. Okay. That way that earlier the student was very quiet. He was not ready to talk to people, mingle with his friends and all that. We told, no, you have to, so we gave him a 2 months or 3 months of training, to do that, And I, after 3 months, when I saw him, he was a totally different person than what he was. And now he started his full-time job, and all this. So, the way he came in and the way he changed. So, the thing was, what I saw was the change. The student was ready to change himself. He earlier, whatever, the mindset he came with, he was ready to change. So that is what students need. Okay, that change your mindset. We understand that initial 1 month will be a testing phase for any student or every student. Even for us, we as a university also, new students have come in. How do we, this student is different, that student is, so we understand that every student's mindset is different, but we also put in that much of effort that student settles in. That is why we have this, counseling sessions for students. We have this training sessions. That is why we call up people from the industry, that you come down, talk to our students, so that they know that how did the journey start. So we have something called Simbi Inspire that we do regularly at the university, right? So we call up students or our alumni from the industry itself. So they come and talk to our students. Okay, so that's how you get the training. That's how you. So initially, when they came into UAE, they say their experience was this. They started with probably very basic job, and how did they change their profile, or how did they reach up to CFO, CXO positions. So how was their journey? So all this inspires the students, and regularly we as a university make sure to give these kind of trainings to students so that they settle down as early as possible. And then, yes, parents also.
Talking about transformation, that's a very lovely example you shared.
Yeah.
How the student transformed from being a shy soul to a person who's now confident and picking up the full-time job and settling in UAE, not just in university.
Yes.
That's an amazing transformation you mentioned out. In between, you highlighted that there is a counseling session which is hosted, and that's very important for my audience who's a parent, and if they are listening to this part. Counseling has a very wider scope.
Yes.
If you look at it. And when a child is new in the university, be it a regional child, someone who lives in UAE and has joined a regional university, or an expat coming from a different country, their needs and requirements and the time of settling is different, right? Do the universities here provide such provisions of, one is, you said, the buddy system, which is an excellent system, I must say. And I wanted to highlight to the audience that the buddy system is the best, in my opinion also, the best way to learn from your peer and to rest on your peer's shoulder if you ever need an emotional support. But how about the counseling session, Shriba? If we expand this word or this service, how does this particular service is offered to the students? Can they just go to the counselors and book their sessions? Or if there is any reverse monitoring being done by some committee? I just want to know. I'm just curious about it.
We as a university will make sure, from the faculty, so when you don't, so not every children, let me be very open, not every child is open to the counseling. Counseling is still a very big term for some parents or students, why does my child need counseling? And counseling is just one-to-one, actually talking to someone who you feel comfortable with. And these many people or many parents, also don't understand that counseling, earlier days, maybe counseling had a different word. Why should I go to a psychologist?
A taboo,
to
right?
talk? A taboo, exactly. No, but now it's a very common word, and actually you feel comfortable talking to people. You feel light when you talk about something that's going on your mind. Maybe you are not, very open to talk to your parents about it. When a third person, who can understand you, or you feel that, okay, this person might hear me out, and children are actually very comfortable in talking to person and talking to people. So we look at, our faculty is very well versed in that, and they make sure that if a child in a class is sitting in a class very quiet, we give them, as I told you, we give them 2 weeks time. Within 2 weeks of time also the child is not able to open up, or there are some things that you feel, okay, the child is very quiet throughout the 2 weeks, he has not spoken anything, he's looking sad, or there's something. So they inform the counselors, or they inform the student service team, that you should be, or why you should be contacting the student, he or she looks sad, he or she has something. So we pick up that child from the class.
That's a vigilance which is
yes,
there.
exactly.
Okay.
So I think every university should have that, and it's very important, because not every child or every student is ready to come to a counselor or to a psychologist to come and talk to them or to open up. So we as a university should make sure that this kind of provision is given, and we are very proud that we are doing it to our students, a one-to-one session. You anytime you walk into student services, I make fun of our student service side that anytime. Today was Friday, apparently today with students were less, so I was like, today you look very, very free. Why is that? No, today I don't have any. So that is very important. And the students should be told about this. And
I know, because look at this way. If I am a parent and if I'm sitting outside UAE and if my child just messages me, I'm going to meet a counselor, I might just drop on the couch.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you? I'm there. Why you can't talk to me and going to a counselor?
Yeah.
But I believe we have to graduate the parents also that
Yes.
counseling doesn't always mean something to do with
Exactly.
stress or psychological
yeah,
disorders. It
yeah.
has something to do with your anxiety for a given moment and time. Oh, beautiful intake. What do we do after that when a counselor realizes there is a concern? See, because children they've just come out of their safety net.
Yes.
Let's use that
Yeah.
word. And now they are creating their own stories. They're fighting their own battles, and there can be many reasons for them to go back to their shell and talk to a counselor. When does the parent comes to know, or if of course, I'm sure extremities are always discussed with parents, but what is the parent's role there in that entire conversation? Are they kept involved, or is it something which is handled at the university level?
So as you told, it depends on the student situation. Sometimes students want to speak to parents, don't want us to speak to parents, and they say, please don't speak to my parent, please don't tell this to my parent, I'm just opening up to you. So we keep it to ourselves and we handle the situation. So then with that student, then we have probably we talk to the student every 2 days or 3 days within. So we keep on following up with them. How are you feeling? Are you feeling better? Is there anything that more we can do? There are some students, if we feel that yes, we need to involve the parents, and we involve the parents and tell them that this is what your child is feeling and this is what happened. But we are we are just letting you know. You don't need to panic. We are there to help them. So parents also feel that okay, that way, yes. And if we feel that no, it's some medical reasons that the student is facing and they really need a help, then we involve some people from outside, and we take them to a medical help or whatever. But otherwise, whatever is said and done, we involve whoever is needed at that moment of time as per the situation. Yes, we do the necessary things.
It is an ecosystem.
Yes.
As a parent, we can rely on the university.
Yeah.
That they are taking care of our child at the time of need, and we are going to be informed if there's something out of control. I reiterated it for my audience because this is a very, very comforting input you have given, Shriba, because this actually, normalizes the emotional trauma or emotional threads of parents, especially those who have sent their children out of the country.
Yeah.
And like you said, there is a student service department. Now there is a counselor. Then there are buddies who are taken care of. And then there are academicians. And then there are people like you who are the front face. What else could they ask for the child to settle down? And I think it bounced back to them that they need to start, backing off from the front lead.
Yes.
Now the child is ready and in good hands to be taken care of.
Yes, true.
How about engagements? I want to know a bit more about, as I said, there was a discussion we were having about belongingness. Child has settled.
Yeah.
How is it in the universities here in UAE? In terms of festivities, in terms of activities. I know the orientation days used to be for one day. Now most of the universities have spread it
5 day week.
a week long. That's an amazing time stamp for anyone to settle down, know the process, be a part of the system, and continue learning. Yes. So tell us more about it. And especially, this information is going to be helpful for many parents who are still not in UAE, but they are planning to send their children to Dubai or to UAE for higher education.
So, Ankita, we all know, I think you have been staying here for so many years. We all know how free UAE is in that matter, We never feel that, we miss the country, or we cannot, I miss India because, this Diwali is coming, or some other festival is coming, Eid is coming, or whatever. So we feel that here we can celebrate any festival at that level that we do it in India, so, or in any other country. So, be it be Diwali, be it be Christmas, be it be Halloween, anything and everything. So, we make sure as a university also, because diversity is one thing that is there in our DNA also. In Symbiosis believes in, internationalization.
Precisely, that was my follow-up question. Glad you brought it up. Talk about diversity for us.
So, we have good number of students who have come in from different countries, and, so we have students from Africa, we have students from Rwanda, we have students from Pakistan, we have students from Nepal. So, we make sure that everyone is treated equally, and, all festivals are celebrated to that level. And so we have this, global festival day, global day wherein, students from all the countries, dress up or bring their own food. And, we have Diwali, we have any other Indian festival, we have Christmas, we have Halloween parties, we have Freshers Week. So, as you said, 5 days, 6 days of fresh, orientation. After orientation, there's a Freshers Week. So, university makes sure that, they student has everything, especially, in UAE, or all the universities do the same things, and students, that's why they feel very comfortable. After 1 month, you ask, I don't want to go back, I'm fine.
I have witnessed it. You were kind enough to say 1 month. I have seen students giving up in one day. Okay, I'm very comfortable, mom and dad. I have made friends, and I think that's the beauty of UAE,
yes.
Wherein there's a lot of acceptance
Yes.
Across different levels. And I'm sure students in your campus as well.
Yeah.
I think it just takes them a couple of hours to break the ice,
Yes, exactly.
and they're one of them.
Yeah, and I think every student gels in very well. We don't have like, in India we have, I will not celebrate this festival, or I don't want to be a part of it. So, here students are very comfortable. They are like, okay, shall I come to you? Shall I celebrate this festival? Even Eid or any festival, anything is celebrated to that level that students feel comfortable. Students are happy. Just that they need time, and just give them. They are happy here.
That brings to a very beautiful conclusion, I should say, Shriba. The anxiety started because the child was leaving the home, and more than child, the parent were under stress.
Yeah.
Right? Because for them, these moments which we just discussed out were beyond even imagination. Probably they must have just heard not even 1% of this liberty, this fun, this safety and security. And they had a legitimate fear, right? And as I said in the beginning, these are the unspoken weightage. They can't express it to their children.
Yeah.
Correct? Because they want to encourage the child to proceed, and the child will break much earlier that I've left my parents, who are now worried I should rather go back.
Yeah.
And once the child is inside the campus, there you are. I mean, the way you're talking, it's quite a vibrant campus.
Yes, yeah, it is, and as I said, that we have we have placed in Knowledge Village, which is a hub, which is a main city. We are very close to metro stations and well connected to all the amenities. So so we're in the middle of the city, where Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa, everything is so close by. So yes, it is a very vibrant campus. Yes, and soon we will be in a beautiful campus, or a bigger campus in Academic City as well. Yeah.
Before we conclude the episode, Shiva, I would request you to give one piece of advice, okay, from your counseling lenses, to the parents. Okay, I'm sure by now they have had changed their thought process, but would you like to mention out some advice to them? And I'm talking particularly for the parents who are planning to send their children next year intake to UAE, and this is the time when they should actually start working around in-house discussions and anything which you want to recommend. What would be your piece of advice to them?
As I said before, that even before thinking of sending your children out, first you as a parent should do enough homework. You should be knowing what are the pros and cons of sending my child. Will my child be able to settle in? And you have to sit together with your child, make them understand this is what it is. This country gives you this country gives. and then make a decision. Probably, there are some parents who choose up different destinations, and then, they are confused. Should I send my child to UK? Should I send my child to US? So, these are the things that you should sit up. And there are actually at school levels, or at, there are different level of counseling that is available, and they're ready to help you out in whichever way you want. I think approach a university, understand, what is the best, what programs are they offering, what is best for my child, all these things. So, do enough homework before sending in your child, and everything is available online. You search it and you get it. So, do enough homework, and then make sure to make a good decision which is best for you and your child.
Lovely. That's a very amazing advice. And you being Shriba's version of conversation, you always nail it through, and you reach to the heart and make a heart-to-heart conversation. So parents, as we learn today, having an anxiety, an overwhelmed situation, turmoil of emotions, it's normal. It happens with every parent, mostly every parent, I must say, those who are sending their children to a different location for higher education. But it is the right time to be the cheerleader for your child. You really need not to be the safety net anymore, because to support you, there is an entire ecosystem of university in which you have chosen for your child. After so much of research and discussions and calculations being taken into consideration as recommended by Shriba. On this note, Shriba, thank you so much for being with us today. It is always amazing talking to you. And I don't know why you have that energy that I usually smile a lot when I'm talking to you. You make it amazing interaction. And I'm sure my audience also enjoyed talking to you today.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you so much. And wish you all and everyone who's watching us or hearing us all the best. And looking forward to a positive decision, whatever it is from you all.
Lovely.
Okay,
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.